And welcome back to the World Championship Series Europe Premier League round of 16 Group D fourth match. If that wasn't a mouthful enough. Welcome back to you, Todd, too. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're always doing great.
Yes.
Why have I even asked you?
I'm actually a little bit sad.
Really, why?
Right now,
Tell me.
because MC played like a scared man.
He played like a scared man. Did,
Yes.
did he play like an idiot? Is it too harsh? Too soon?
An idiot will be playing like me, not what he did.
I mean, we discussed it a little bit backstage. Is there a sneaky feeling? I mean, I asked San straight up, did you look at that and think, actually, I'd quite like to play as Zerg. I don't really want to play another Protoss, so maybe I'll finish second.
I
mean,
think...
It's a dangerous game to play if you are going to play it, isn't it?
I think if you play too much with fire, you will always get burnt. And I don't think MC will take the risk. Because going against either Nerchio or BlinG in the final match, he's going to have to be very careful. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy for him against Nerchio the first time round, so that'd be difficult going up against him again. And he I think he felt him out a little bit as well, Nerchio, didn't he? He was like, oh, okay, so he's nervous. Okay, maybe I put a bit of pressure on if I get the chance to play him again. Let's just check in with the brackets before we get into our fourth game and show you where we are right now. At the top of the screen, in the gold box, is San. He is our 7th player to move on to the round of 8. We're now searching for our final man to join him, and it will come from the lower bracket. Nerchio versus BlinG first, and the winner will play MC for the last place in the round of 8. These two, this is tricky for BlinG. We said his first game was tough, and he did really well. 2-1 loss against San in the way that he went down. Nothing to be sneezed at. It was a great game from him. Going up against Nerchio, they have a lot of history together. Most of it, admittedly, is not in Heart of the Swarm. There's only the one game. But right now, head-to-head, BlinG is 2-17, and he has to do something to overturn. I hope he's not listening right now, because seriously, that's a bit of a depth. That's 89.5% plays 10.5%, and anyone that's got a 10.5%, we just go, oh well, never mind.
Okay, I don't think too much of that is in Heart of the Swarm, and also going into a match like this, I think you only need to think about current form. Sometimes some players, they're going to have some kind of a mental block against other players. If they've lost too often to them, they're going to think, oh my god, this guy always gets the best of me. So I don't think this is going to be the case here for BlinG. I think he's prepared for this. He knows what to expect out of Nerchio. Most people do. Nerchio is a guy who loves to go for Mutas, who's mostly only good with them. As much as he showed some good things with Roche and Hydralisk, the only game that he won against MC was with Mutas. So you need to get ready for that. And do they have their headsets on? I think BlinG style counters Nerchio style pretty well. And just because of the tech pass that he chooses, I'm not going to say more because I'm not sure if they can hear or not. But I think if he goes for his usual style that he's done well with in the past against Zerg, he's going to have a very good chance at taking down Nerchio, even if he goes for Mutas.
We know that BlinG, I've been following BlinG for a long time. At 2012 WCS UK, when we had the regionals. And such a character, great character, full of confidence when he's on the stage. He almost comes over a little bit cocky sometimes. But when you get to know him, you start to understand and actually takes his game really seriously, practices hard, works hard on his game, but is actually very nervous when he comes to these events. And I'm not sure I saw that many nerves from him in his first game, though. Do you think maybe he's actually just playing the way he did in the round of 32, and he's like, no, I'm not scared ananymore. Nobody expects me to win. I'm just going to go out there and play and have fun.
I think he was actually pretty nervous because I was talking with him a little bit in the lobby, and I've been telling players when they are being shown on camera and they can do something if they want. And before the match, he did a little bit of waving and he interacted with the camera that was showing him. But after the first game, he did not do that anymore, and even wrote focus time in the chat at some point. So I think everybody's nervous at this point. There is nobody that's not nervous.
Even with experience, the great MC admitted earlier on in our interview, he was nervous in his first game. He didn't want to lose that, and he wanted to make sure he went through. So it can happen to the best of them. Thank you very much, Todd, as always. We'll check back with Todd after our game. This is game number 4, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost at the end of the round of 16. Just one more spot remains. Steve the Speedling's looking forward to this one because it's Nerchio versus BlinG.
Finding out the last spot is going to be a lot of fun, as we now have 3 players remaining to fill it. Who is it going to be? As we have, obviously, Nerchio and BlinG now looking to play against MC, regardless of if they are able to take that spot against MC, they still have a tough time ahead of them. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, tough time for both players. Whichever one advances from this, Nerchio or BlinG, is going to find it very difficult against MC. But knowing both of these players, they're playing, let's just say, not their favorite matchup right now on both sides. BlinG against Zerg and Nerchio against Protoss.
Well, we're going to get into map vetoes as we'll see who goes first. Looks like Graham may be posturing to say BlinG might have first map veto. But
yes. Isn't BlinG a handsome fella?
He certainly is. He's one of the guys that actually pulls off this sleeve tattoo thing really well, because I'm not a big fan of it. I think it looks silly most of the time, but BlinG makes it look good.
He's handsome.
Yeah.
I love his haircut. His tattoo's great. The Dignitas shirt fits him really well.
He was saying that he hasn't done his hair as much today because the headphones messed it up, which is understandable. It's understandable.
I spoke to BlinG a little bit before, and I told him that Nerchio's definitely just going to veto Habitation Station in Yonsu. It would be wild if it didn't happen, because these are the two most difficult maps for Zergs against Protoss. And BlinG said if the map pool is the same as Nerchio versus MC, Altazim, Frost, and Heavy Rain, he's very happy on that.
Okay.
So some inside infos.
And obviously all those Zergs don't want to tempt fate with Yonsu and Habitation Station, so that's why those go away.
Yeah.
It's almost a given now that the Zergs just get rid of
Polar
those.
Knight should be vetoed by... wait, is that right? Habitation is from BlinG?
I don't think so.
So... I don't know what happened there. There's a bit of... I'm not sure what happened. But Polar Knight... Okay, so maybe Habitation Station and Polar Knight are reversed there. I'm not too sure. But the three matches are the same, whatever the case. Altazim, Frost, and Heavy Rain. In which order are they going to be? It looks like BlinG's going to pick first. And he chooses... Drum roll!
It's not happening. Yeah, so Habitation
Where's
was
the
indeed
map?
from Nerchio. You just keep going, man. You just keep going.
What's the map?
My little drummer boy, Sean.
I know, I was going for it, but nothing happened.
I can teach you to drum roll at some point.
Frost!
Easy peasy.
There we go. I didn't want to drum roll for all of it.
Oh.
Frost.
Okay.
So Nerchio, if you didn't watch the games earlier against MC, he went Roach Hydra into Viper.
Yeah. Spawning positions and as well as MC's up did favour that in that regard.
Yes, they did, Chloris.
And now, what are we going to have
Seems
from
to be the
BlinG?
slowest map selection here.
Of all time.
And it's going to be Altazim.
Oh, yeah, sick.
Oh, look at BlinG giving a little cheeky wing.
No.
Okay, so Frost Altazim, the first two maps from the MC Nerchio game, and then the last one, Heavy Rain. So I managed to catch up with both players, actually, before this happened. We talked a little bit about Nerchio not liking Swarm Host. That still remains true.
Okay.
And he only is going to really come into this series with two styles, Roach Hydra or Mutalisk. I spoke to BlinG a little bit, and okay, let's just stop talking. 25%. He doesn't have the best of times versus Zerg. Let's just put it out there. He felt much more confident going into the games versus San and potential games versus MC than he does Nerchio.
Yeah.
Not only is he 25% against Zerg, he, as Red Eye mentioned, has just got a pretty bad record versus
That's
Nerchio.
a good word for it.
Pretty bad.
No
as
offense to
in,
BlinG, of
doesn't
course.
really beat Nerchio.
No.
Whereas Nerchio is just kind of all round, really, with his results. But going back to Nerchio here, so it's most likely either going to be Roach Hydra or Spire play, with a bit of mind games, depending on which one he built, which he actually tricked MC with. But BlinG, I spoke to him and I said, the best style to play, you should know, against Nerchio is Stargate, like MC did, or go into 2-3 Stargates and play a heavy Stargate play. But he said he's not confident in that style because he doesn't practice that style. So even though he acknowledges it's the better style to use, so a lot of Protoss players may be looking today and like, why doesn't he do it? Because he doesn't really practice it. He's not confident with it. He's much more... Oh, I think he knows he's on camera right now. He's much more practiced with the more the different style that we see a lot more, which is the +1 attack and fast third base into +2 and BlinG.
And the thing is that with you saying that, of all things, you see time people are like, well, why doesn't he do that? Why doesn't he do this in terms of a strategy? But if you're not well practiced in it, you always want to go to what you've practiced most, even if it's not exactly the right choice. You don't winging it at this level can be very, very difficult. So
it's pretty hard to wing it per se. Only a few players out there in the world can wing it and just do anything possible. And a lot of players practice specific styles. BlinG as a style, if you try to, I don't know, try to describe BlinG as a style, I think he's pretty all round.
Yeah.
He is not afraid to play the player more so than the race he plays against. I think we saw that displayed more so against Happy in the round of 32, where he just exploited what Happy's weaknesses were with his overall strategy. And I think that will give BlinG a slight edge coming into this because of how polarized Nerchio's strategies will be.
He knows what's going to happen.
It's either going to be super aggressive play from Nerchio, some kind of all-in, or Roach Hydra, or Mueller's play. It's going to be rarely something else. Could play Ling Infestor, of course. You know, that's not too difficult for Nerchio to pull off. But let's see how this is going to shape up now, as one of these players will finish in last place. One of these players is Sexy.
All right. And it's certainly Megamind, as we now have Nerchio versus BlinG. And we have that man spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our red Protoss. Representing Dignitas, it is BlinG. And up to the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Zerg. Representing Team Acer, it's Nerchio.
And you know what, Cloris? I think, out of respect, we should take a moment to say, hello, BlinG's mom. Hiya.
Hi.
How you doing? I know you're watching. I hope you got your tea with you. Maybe some takeaway fish and chips for the evening. And I hope you're having a fantastic time watching. Your son's doing really well. I promise I'll look after him. Maybe this evening.
The big question is, though, is what type of tea? That's the big question. What brand of tea?
It's Friday night.
Yes.
They're not drinking tea, but having tea itself, dinner tea.
Yes, of course.
Fish and chips, absolutely. Friday night is Friday night takeaway. You walk and go get your fish and chips.
Was that for you every night? Like every
when
week?
I was growing up, yes.
Yeah?
When I was growing up.
Friday night was takeaway night.
Friday night was fish and chip night, more specifically.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. I lived next to a fish and chip shop for a long time, so that happened quite a bit.
I can't wait to have some fish and chips. I'm going back to get my passport soon, so
yeah, you are.
I'm just going to enjoy some fish and chips.
I'm kind of jelly. Although, that being said, we had some fish and kind of potato thing just upstairs.
No, not quite the same.
No, indeed.
So Nerchio's opened up here with spawning pull into hatchery, which is quite common, of course, and has used it pretty much every single game today, whereas BlinG's gone one gateway, one gas, and will be going for a fast expansion here. He may build a Zealot, just in case there is any early spawning pull builds, and then cancel it. Sometimes he just skip it anyway and just go straight for the expansion. But I would imagine it would be a Zealot into cancel. If he had a second gas and was looking to prolong his expansion, he may keep it and try to do something with it. If he doesn't send out a probe scout, he may actually use the Zealot to scout instead of cancelling it. So a couple of different options to choose from.
And for anybody onlooking towards this game and thinking, well, you know, the records for these guys, for BlinG, not exactly that great against Nerchio, you can kind of compare it to what we saw of Nerchio Mana, like, I would say 6 months ago, with Nerchio always having Mana's number, always somehow getting Lings in and stuff like that. Yes. Nerchio, likewise, kind of has BlinG's number, so if BlinG's going to win this out, it's going to be very impressive, and he's certainly got to find something happen, because Lings are already on the way.
Yeah, they're on the way, but the Mothership Core should be able to push these back and shouldn't really take any losses here. BlinG is going to scout his opponent. Didn't really look at the third, though. He's just going to go straight up towards the natural, and unfortunately won't get the scout of the fast third base, unless he turns around and then goes and looks anyway. He's actually expected it to be at the north side rather than the south side, which is why his probe's going up here first, but he may turn around and double check in a moment. But from this position, being on a single gas... Oh, no, as I say that... Oh, does he have two? Oh, he's on two, sorry. My eyes deceive me. Sentry being built up here. BlinG has quite a few different options to choose from. I would imagine Forge, as that's what he is favored to do, and that's what he likes to do here. Forge for that +1 attack, get some extra gateways, and then look for a fast third. But remember, in close positions, Nerchio's dangerous. He was versus MC and can be here as well.
Yeah, and we'll see how aggressively he's going to be pushing out the creep through the middle of the map from that third. It's always super important to know about a player like Nerchio here. But likewise, he still likes to play, in essence, those mind games of just saying, you've seen a Hydralisk Den? Is there a Spire around?
Yeah.
You've seen a Spire? Is there a Hydralisk Den? You don't know just yet. So you got to be careful against Nerchio.
Nerchio adding on the gases quite early here. It's very safe. Usually you can go up to about 6 minutes with the gases both at the same time here, but a little bit shorter so you can get potential defense out. Roach Warren may come down, safety precaution. BlinG's going to suicide this probe through towards the third base to have a look if it's there or not. Does see it and back out. BlinG's biggest weakness throughout his entire career has been overly aggressive strategies versus Zerg, and Zerg's defending it and BlinG losing. I've known that for a very, very long time, but he has changed a lot as of recent. And Nerchio is getting the Roach Warren and Spinecrawl. BlinG must not play that style, but BlinG is playing a style which involves a fast third base without the Forge, which I mentioned that he may go for. It's with only 3 gateways without the Forge, which means there's no cannons that he can build straight away here. But if he's taking note from how Nerchio played against MC, Nerchio plays defensive, no Zergling speed, just Roaches, right?
Yeah.
He can get away with this fast third base, and it will play towards BlinG's favor.
More Overlords here, just so that Nerchio can avoid any kind of supply blocks, because he knows he was going to lose 2 Overlords there in the end, and does manage to get out of that pretty quickly, but he confirms the third already.
Yeah, and Nerchio sees this immediately, takes the lair, gases, drones, and we know exactly what that means. He is going straight towards the Roach Warren with Roach speed, the Hydralisk Den, and he is going to charge at this location.
He is. He's got a lot of Overlords still in production here now, so he's freeing up a lot of supply so he can add on those Roaches and everything he likes to go for.
And BlinG should know that. He goes in with the Hallucinated Phoenix, sees the lair, sees the gases on the natural, drone count's healthy, and he should be getting ready to deal with this. But he's playing Gateway only compared to MC, who's going to Colossus. So this means that that BlinG has to rely heavily on his force fields. He needs to just chrono boost the crap out of the force to get that +1. He needs to get BlinG as soon as possible.
Lots of drones still there.
Yeah, he hasn't finished droning yet. That will be his last round of drones. The Hydralisk Den should come down. Notice there's no evolution chamber, so even more money to go towards units here. We should see the Hydralisk Den, unless he's going to play something like Roach Mulus play with a bit of a switch up. Oh, maybe there, that's it. But now it's going to be very crucial for BlinG to find it.
It's very hidden. It's here, in the middle of the...
there.
In between everything. The thing is, though, with this, I mean, after seeing that quick a third base, wouldn't Nerchio, like... It looks as if he's, like, feigning aggression with a few Roaches or so, trying to lure his opponent into a false sense of
Well, look,
security.
BlinG is sending Hallucinated Phoenix after Hallucinated Phoenix. He needs to spot what this is, because he needs to know whether it's going to be Mulus to start to prepare mentally for it, more so than physically, because he's only going down one pathway anyway. Another Hallucinated Phoenix. If you don't see a Hydralisk Den at all, you start to worry about hidden proxy Spire anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's in his mind, especially knowing what kind of opponent that his opponent is.
Because there's just no other options, right? I mean, yes, there's a lot of Zerglings.
Well, he's going to see it if it survives, this Phoenix. He'll see it if it survives, but it doesn't. He missed it.
That was a real shame for him. He could have spotted that, but now there's a lot of Lings in production to reinforce these Roaches that are going to push down onto this third location. He was actually pushing at the natural there for a second. So I think, you know, how much damage...
I mean, BlinG's okay, though. He's got a lot of gateways, man. I think he's okay here. He's got a lot of gateways. He's got Photon Overcharge and Time Warp if need be. He's got quite a few sentries. There's a big Stalker Warp in.
And it's only 10 Roaches against that many force fields. So Lings, Oh, actually, this isn't too bad a wraparound, but good force fields. We'll deny that for now.
But the Mulus is the big problem here. 13 Mutalisks. Sure, there's going to be BlinG. Sure, there's Stalkers. But what happens if the Roach and Lings pressure the third? Oh, BlinG's going to go for it.
Oh,
he's going to grab these units. He's going to wait till the last possible moment to get a force field on these, but they escape. But the thing I'm going to say, what happens if the Mulus go to the main?
Exactly.
And then the Roach and Lings go towards the third.
Also, BlinG has to be mindful. It's like, where is all your gas? That was only 10 Roaches. That was only 10 Roaches. You didn't see any other tech anywhere else. So where is all that gas gone?
And he's got no close reinforcement pile on Claris. He's out in the open.
Can he recall out? No, I don't think so.
No, just use Time Warp, and I think he could be in a bit of trouble.
Yes, he could be. Those Zerglings not doing too badly for themselves. Mutalisk sent the fray as well. Although that being said, good BlinG control here so far by BlinG on this lower flank, but looks like there's just too overwhelming numbers.
Yeah, not bad, but as you mentioned, just overwhelming numbers. Time Warp, not Time Warp, Mothership Core will die. He's trying to blink back out the way, but no reinforcement pylons, nothing close. He's down in supply. and that movement out was a little bit too eager.
And with a Warp Prism in production here, this looked like desperation from BlinG. I don't see how he's really going to make that do anything here, as BlinG now is really up against it at this third location. The Mutalists dive on in, and Nerchio's vastly up in terms of supply.
Yeah, this is very one-sided here. As you can see, BlinG's in a bit of trouble, to say the least. As he's about to lose the cannon, the probes, the units, and as much as he's holding on with +2 and BlinG, it's a little bit too late. GG and Nerchio wipes #1 in his favor.
And in his mind, pretty clear cut. Pretty clear cut, gotta say.
Yeah.
Nerchio looked fine there. BlinG didn't get the information he needed.
All right, BlinG's mum, I know you're listening. I need you to cross both your fingers on both hands. I need you to take your socks off and cross your toes. You probably want to send your son a message, or a text message, saying, chin up, keep going. I believe, if you believe.
You believe.
I believe if she believes.
She can channel all her energy.
Channel all your energy. You can do it with me. Close your eyes, BlinG's mum. Close your eyes. That's right. All right.
He's actually closing his eyes right now.
I'm closing my eyes. BlinG's mum, close your eyes. Do it. Breathe. I believe in you, son.
That was emotional. Oh, well, I have a tear in my eye. Okay, so let's go on to
Cloris, I know. We talked about this yesterday. You're a Bridget Jones kind of guy.
No,
you like a box of tissues around. I get it.
I fell into that one.
But that, yeah, big sigh of, not really relief, but it's a big sigh of like, I need to do this. Good God, game 1. Ace of BlinG, cheers for your tweet. Go cheer for my Zerbro.
Sick.
Yes. And I would like, even though, of course, BlinG being a friend and a fellow Englishman, I would like to see the Nerchio MC rematch as well.
So would I, actually.
I would actually quite like to watch that.
Because with how it went, everyone's saying, oh, well, MC San, but Nerchio could have won that first series, and Nerchio could certainly win a rematch.
Yes. And I think that would be a really cool series to watch. Likewise, BlinG in MC would be a great series too. So either way, whichever way this goes, I'm looking forward to the decider. But we have to say sorry to 2 players very shortly. One on this stage will be going home in last place and will just cut their Season 1 as a top 16 player. Granted, $3,000 banked. They get to come back to playing Premier League next season as well, so you will be seeing these 2 players in the round of 32 next season. But it's all about champions here in the Premier League, and unfortunately, one of these 2 on stage is not a champion. And
all importantly, aside from the WCS points, the leaps up in prize pool are fantastic once you get to this point. It's like, I think it's, 3,000 to 5,000. Then it scales up from there to crazy amounts, like first place is 25K. 25K. That's a lot of money. It's not quite 100K. It's not quite SOS numbers.
It's not 100K.
But anyway, let's get into it. Game number 2. Nerchio currently leads 1-0 here as we load up onto Ultrazeme Stronghold. Spawning up to the top left-hand corner, we have our red Protoss representing Team Dignitas. It's BlinG. Up to the top right, our blue Zerg representing Team Acer. It's Nerchio. I don't know why I see it in him.
You think Nerchio goes like 3 hatch or something now? He's been shown spawn and pull first every single game today so far. You think he changes it up for this one? He's leading as well, remember?
We saw TLO do that yesterday, right? Wasn't it TLO? I think so.
Yes, he went 3 hatch on Frost after opening spawn and pull every single game.
Yeah, so could do.
Because you know BlinG's most likely just going to open up for Nexus first into Gateway. It's, the common build that we see so often.
Yeah.
Nerchio against MC. MC did that, and Nerchio went spawn and pull first. Still.
Yeah, we could certainly see that. Wouldn't upset me for any reason. Nerchio just capitalizing on a strong economy focus from the very beginning.
No, spawn and pull first anyway.
Oh,
not too phased by the in thing of 3 hatch.
Doesn't care.
He doesn't care what Jaedong wears and how Jaedong plays and these other Zergs. He's not a part of the cool crew. He doesn't care. He goes spawn and pull first just like everybody else.
Yeah, And then we have Nexus first for BlinG. A very, very greedy one as well at that. 17 supply. Will he go pylon? Well, I guess kind of...
I think he'll throw the gateway in the wall next.
Yeah. It's a little bit ambitious.
I'd be surprised if he decided to do something else other.
There we go. All right, so gateway's on the way. He will be spotted pretty quickly here by Nerchio, as he did send his first Overlord in the correct direction.
Wonder what he's going to choose here, BlinG. Knowing that this again can be a Mutalisk map, and Nerchio does love his Mutalisks. BlinG now, with seeing the Overlord here, knows that his opponent is to the right-hand side. Nerchio's initial Overlord, I think, should be wanting to go towards the back of Proto space. You'd think, just like he did against MC, just so we can cover 2 locations with another Overlord to replace that. Probe going to have a look what Nerchio's up to.
As are the Lings over the other side.
Likewise, yes.
And for now,
difference is though that these Lings will get in BlinG's base because I don't think the Zealot's going to be in time.
Oh, that's a little bit of a shame. He does have a probe there. He could throw it on a pylon, I guess, if he had the money. But then it leaves and then it comes back. Will it leave again? No. It's going to stick around.
And in they knock go.
Pylon!
Oh, you nice saver. Guess they don't get in then.
I guess not. This has been a very lethargic cast to begin with, Sean.
Yeah, nice and chilled out as these 2 builds do start to take shape. The cancelled pylon and the Zealot pop out here. Warpgate shall start immediately. A lot of gas in the bank, and we see BlinG going for the Stargate.
Hello.
And there is no Overlord for Nerchio that can start to go in. And of course, with no anti-air for the time being, it cannot get pushed back. But what do you think we see from BlinG? You think it's going to be straight Void Ray, Oracle, Phoenix, the 3 options he has to choose from here?
I'm a big fan of the Phoenix from here. I mean, technically he could go Oracle, but I would like Phoenix. Just start controlling the map, start pushing those Overlords away, start putting doubt in your opponent's mind as to when that third's going to go down, etc., etc., etc.
There is a probe down to the bottom right here, which has been spotted, but has it been spotted?
I think the Lings just rerouted themselves from that like, pseudo 5th location.
Yes.
Oh, no, he didn't. He actually went back around, so I guess not. Is that Overlord still in range of it?
No, it's not. Okay. But he manually controlled it to stop there, just in case the probe left. So I think he's just letting the probe be there, and if it comes down, he'll go chase it. Oracle is the choice from BlinG, just like MC did earlier. MC was able to kill 2 queens and a couple of drones, so we'll compare the 2 of them in a second.
I love that Ling placement over on the right-hand side because there is such a common place to throw it on a pylon on the other side of these rocks. It's unbelievable. To warp in Zealots or eventually when the harassment goes down, especially in these spawning positions, where the 4th would normally be down there anyway. So very good positioning there by Nerchio.
I think BlinG might be looking to throw down a bunch of gateways here, Kalaris, off the back of this Oracle. I have a feeling he's only on 2 gases. He's got a lot of minerals. Is it gateways or 3rd? I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Oracle about to move forward. No spores yet.
What will it get done? The spores are on the way, or at least one of them starts working away at drones. But because he took so much damage on that Oracle to the Queen, he actually can't combat that. He's just going straight for the drones.
He's just trying to get as many drones as possible. 6, that's not bad. 3rd base has been thrown down, so it's 1 Oracle into a 3rd base. The same build he used versus Happy in the round of 32. And that probe still hidden down to the bottom right. That's why I had a feeling that we could have seen gateways. But 3rd base is down, which means now, as Nerchio actually doesn't see this, he's actually sending Lings around. So his response and reaction is going to be a little bit delayed to the time of the Nexus.
And look at this, Sean. Look at that.
I told him to do this.
You did, yes. You aren't the coach of Demon Tests anymore, Mr. Apollo. What is this witch?
No, I should have asked him to pay me. Yeah, so 3 Stargates is coming in simply because of Nerchio's tendencies to go Mutalisks here. Yeah. But it's double evolution chamber, which is not exactly what BlinG's expecting. Let's just put it that way. Which double upgrades on the ground, most likely, does tend to be more so for the melee upgrades, a Zergling heavy style here.
Yeah.
Which Void Ray is not exactly the best against, but can once they climb up in numbers. Nerchio spotted the 3 Stargate play, by the way, and changed his decision from melee to range. Does this mean we're going to see like a 1-1 Hydra, 2-2 Hydra?
Oh, it's all Void Rays as well.
Void Rays.
I do like me some Void Rays. And now we have the adorable one Creep Tumor constantly pushing forwards. He's adding on a second one, a little bit of a buddy there for the Creep Tumor. You know, the Oracles. Just doing its own little thing, 10 kills.
3 queens added on.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Pretty fast Twilight Cancel. This is usually because when you play Void Rays, you can go for, or ideally, Void Rays are good in when the Zerg has small numbers. But once the Zerg starts to climb up to massive numbers, is you kind of need Storm to deal with the high amount of Queens and Hydras and stuff like that. So I think that will be eventually where he heads towards.
This is something that we saw in WCS Europe last year, right? When let's think about it. We saw Targa versus Naniwa, for example, where Targa just kind of figured out how to deal with a lot of Void Rays, adding on a lot of Queens, adding on a lot of Hydras, and then actually how do you kill it? It's very, very difficult with just Void Rays alone.
Has BlinG seen the double evolution chamber, and he spotted the Hydralisk Den in the last minute? So he kind of knows what he's playing against. Zealot Charge to start, my favorite upgrade. Plus one attack starts too, so it's a full dedication to this air style. Remember what we mentioned in the pregame. This is not BlinG's ideal situation to be in. He's not very comfortable in this playstyle, but he's going to attempt it anyway. Is that what he feels best with to beat Nerchio? A couple of donated lings, but we don't see no units yet. It's only queens. 6 queens, about to be 8, 67 drones, a lot of money in the bank.
I guess Queen Infestor and a burst of Hydras.
Infestors. So we're about to see BlinG move out towards the back here to maybe pick off a base. If these units gets fungled and there is no recall, if somehow he doesn't recall, he's in trouble. He needs to make sure that this Mothership Core is close. He probably wants to start thinking about maybe adding on Storms soon.
Exactly.
And maybe start thinking about that, because this is becoming a little bit scary.
And notice the swing in momentum of how aggressive now Nerchio's creep spread is compared to how it was before he saw those 3 gateways. He's got 5 queens pushing that at the front, as opposed to just 1,
Uh-oh, Infestor's pop right there. Oh, they do have fungal.
You may as well
He's going to try and kill it and then recall out. That's a nice move. Boom, and then recall.
That's nice. That's nice.
But there is no Temporal Archives. A good start here for BlinG, but the next move out from Nerchio is going to be a stinger.
Yeah.
He goes Robotics Facility here instead, but this movement out currently consists of 14 Hydralisks, more added on as second goes by, 5 Infestors, and 10 Bloody Queens.
That's a lot of transfuses. That's a lot of damage as well added on extra, because the range attack's actually not too bad once you got some upgrades going on it when it comes to those Void Rays.
This is very hard. I mean, Zealot's always going to be nice if he has a high amount of them, surely, because they can charge in, but this movement out from Nerchio could be a killer. This is a very nice move.
It really could. And he doesn't even know that this is on his doorstep. He hasn't seen the middle of the map for ages.
More Zealots coming in. So the Zealots are climbing up high now. Photonor, he's got to play this defensively. There's no... Okay, now he sees it. He's like, there's the Zerg. Close the doors.
Panic, panic, panic. This is going to be scary, because that is the first glimpse he got of how far the creep spread's got, how many queens there are, how many Hydralisks they are. They are on his door. They have to be
He's trying to go to Colossus, but he's got no time to go Colossus here. BlinG is in a bit of trouble, and he's also facing defeat right now. If he loses this, he's out of the tournament in last place. And we're about to find out, because Nerchio is going to attack in a very few seconds' time. He's adding on a Baling Nest, because he realizes that Zealot's a massive threat to his Queens, Infestors, and Hydras here. There's a lot of Void Rays, sure. They have +1 attack, sure. There is Photon overcharge here. BlinG setting up counter-attack pylons on the other side of the map, by the way, too. And he did hinder a lot of Nerchio's income. He's not maxed out because of losing that. I think he's waiting, maybe. I don't think he should wait for Banelings, because Banelings without Baneling speed is obviously not going to be ideal, I don't think.
Yeah.
But if he tries it with just slow Banelings, I guess maybe, because the creep is there, but...
A lot of Zealots going to tank for those Void Rays, and he's actually going to bring the fight to Nerchio by the looks of things.
Big brave man.
Goes for it. Oh, the Fungals! The Fungals land across the entirety of the Zealots as well as those Void Rays. Oh, this is a catastrophe for BlinG.
Yeah.
His entire army was absolutely pinned down. Bye-bye Void Rays, bye-bye Zealots. Those Zealots didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was one of the most one-sided fights we've seen in a long time here in the WCS. And Nerchio says, yeah, this is so easy. And is in a really brilliant position. This is almost GG there. BlinG took the fight to Nerchio. Nerchio wasn't ready, but I don't know, that guy got there.
He'll chill out for a while, but there you go.
Good fight from Nerchio, just perfectly understanding what his opponent's doing. BlinG playing not what he wants to play, and Nerchio just feeling very comfortable.
And even those Zealots down to the bottom left, they show how well they can do if they actually connect, but in the end, no. There's way too much after those Fungals. The 2 Colossus pop out, but They're really not going to do a whole lot. They're not going to save this third base.
No, I think that he maybe should have wanted to wait there. You've got to play that patiently. And Nerchio takes 2-0 and moves on to facing the rematch against MC. Unfortunately, that means BlinG finishes in last place in today's group, but a good performance to him.
I mean, he took San to the verge, right?
Took San to the verge, and of course, this is almost his, pretty much his highest placing tournament to date. If you think about the prestige of the World Championship Series, more so than the round of 16, he walks away with $3,000. Also, banks $2,000 minimum because he will be back in Premier League next season as well.
He certainly will, as there is that change-up from last year, with top 16 still sticking on in the round of 32. And I like that change, actually. We get to see a bit more of consistency from these players moving through the seasons, as long as they're able to keep themselves alive. So without further ado, let's move over and hear from our winner, advancing on to the last match, Mr. Nerchio.
Nerchio, well done. Congratulations. Tough game. Overall, I guess, being in the position that you were, having lost to MC in the first round and then being put up against another Protoss. I mean, we know it's not your favoured matchup and particularly enjoy going up against the Protoss, but that worked out okay against BlinG.
Yeah, well, I improvised a bit, but as you said, it worked out okay and I'm happy. Well, MC will be a little bit harder, but in my first match, I think I could have won with small mistakes on my side, so we'll see now.
Okay, I mean, you like going mutas. You used them first game against BlinG. Were you surprised that he hadn't gone Stargate and that he'd gone BlinG?
Actually, on these positions, BlinG Stalkers is better, so I wasn't surprised at all. Maybe a little bit that he pushed so fast, and I thought I could lose there, but fortunately I had enough units.
Second map, changing up a little bit, just so you weren't being totally predictable and going mutas every game. What was the thought behind that?
Well, I scouted the triple Stargate, so as I said, I improvised a little bit because I usually don't play that style. But on these positions, it's very easy to creep up to his base, so I can, walk the queens very easily. So I did that, and it worked. Also because, well, he went out in a really bad position, so I caught his whole army with angles.
Were you conscious that, I mean, we could see you using creep, you're getting closer and closer and closer to his base. Were you like, no, I'm not going to go until I'm right there, or he attacks me, and then he came on creep? Were you kind of surprised the fact that he got a bit sort of angry with you there?
Well, I expected him to attack at some point, but I thought, it will be more of a flank than like attack from one side. And I wasn't sure actually when to attack myself, but yeah, I was only afraid of Colossus timing, that there will be like 2 or 3 when I will push. But fortunately, they were too late.
Were you worried at all? I saw the Oracle just picking off drone after drone after drone. Were you getting a bit like, oh, I can't stop killing them off? Yeah,
well, because I don't practice this strategy that much, I usually took all the queens to the front to spread creep. So there was never a queen in my, natural, actually. So, yeah, a few drones died, actually.
All right. Well done. Congratulations. Move on now to play MC. As you said, you felt like maybe you could have beaten him earlier on. So does that give you extra confidence going into this game? And if it does, how differently do you need to play against him? What percentage better do you need to be playing?
I don't know. I think I didn't really have my mind sorted out before the matches, how to play versus Protoss. But now, before my match versus BlinG, more ideas came to my mind, so I think it will be better.
All right. Well, best of luck. Thank you very much. Okay. There's Nerchio. He's going to move on to play our final game of the round of 16. It's between him and MC as to who goes through to the quarterfinals. Let's catch up with Todd and work out exactly where Nerchio went right in his last game against BlinG.
Thanks, Red Eye. We're going to be taking a look at the second game. First game was very straightforward. BlinG trying to go for the quick third base, the blink, moving out and just being caught out of position, use a few 2-force fields too many before the real fight actually began, and misreading into the Spire so that he got surprised by the mutas. It was just a bad position for him overall. But in that second game, he chose to go for the 3 Stargates to try and make sure he wasn't going to have to face the mutas again, which is what Nerchio is best at. Nerchio reacted pretty well, I have to say. If he had gone for mutas and Corruptor, I really think he would have gotten owned completely, because it's very hard to deal with the 3 Stargates in this situation. So instead of that, he went for some Infestors, some Hydralisk, and some Queens. There was a lot of nice move by BlinG in this game. There was an Oracle that got a lot of kills. We're going to be taking a look at that. It had 19 kills at the time. It A lot of that was in drones too. So he was keeping the economy of his opponent. 19 drones exactly killed. So the worker count wasn't that high for Nerchio, even though at this point I believe he's saturated on 4 bases. BlinG actually on the perfect worker count, 72 here. I'm actually surprised that BlinG went for the 4th base, because I think at this point, when you're on Void Race, you need to make sure that you're going to have enough support for them to make sure you don't die to Mask, Hydralisk, Infestors, Queens, Roaches, and all that. So he went for the 4th base, and he's in a situation where he chose to play this in an unusual way, because usually when you race and Zealots, you get Templars with them. You get Templars for Storm. The only thing that beats this many Void Race, it's not Corruptors, no. It's Templar, Infestors and Fungal. If you can Fungal all of this, you're going to do very well against all of these Void Race. So in this case, there is a whole bunch of Infestors ready over there. There is Hydralisk. Can we look at the army composition of Nerchio? He has 18 Hydralisk, 5 Infestors, 12 Queens. So that's a lot of anti-air ready to deal with this. Not too much to deal with the Zealots just yet, but the Zealot count is not that high. It's 14 plus 11 Void Race. So maybe, I mean, as much as I would like to say that there would have been a chance for BlinG to fight here, the Fungal still is a very, very scary spell to engage into. So instead of going for Storm or Feedback, he went for Colossus. The thing is about Colossus, they take a very long time to get out. So he's getting a Robo now, and he's going to send an Hallucination out and spot exactly what he's up against. We can start playing the game from here. It sends the Hallucination out. We look at his vision. He sees, basically, this can only mean an attack. You don't move so far out of the creep. Well, technically, there is creep with Queens and all that for not going for an attack. So if somebody's about to attack you, you prepare a concave. You make sure you get a good setup. In this case, he has to make sure he doesn't get fungal completely. This was already making me feel a little bit nervous, the positioning on that Mothership Core. He should have pulled it back a little bit. And at this point, since he's not getting for Templars, he needs to wait until he has the Colossus to engage. It's going to be for Nerchio to engage into BlinG, ideally, for BlinG to be able to defend. In which case, he will use the Photon Overcharge, maybe one Time Warp in a little bit of energy, and make sure he spreads out his Void Race so that they don't all get fungal. But what happens is that BlinG loses patience somehow and moves out before he's maxed out, and he has support for this Void Race with any kind of Colossus. Look at his army. Imagine what 4 Colossus would do to this. They would completely destroy this army. So now BlinG loses patience. He actually even has an observer over here. He's like, maybe got tilted by this Crypto Immerse. He thought it was too much installance by Nerchio to set up right in front of his base. So he's going to go for the attack. Nerchio, he was one of the best Infestor users in Wings of Liberty already, with great fungals all the time. This is no different here in Out of the Swarm. He's going to land a lot of 3 points over there in those Zealots. Yeah, he catches the Zealots plus the Void Race. The Zealots are not even attacking at this point. They have charges just standing like this. They can't even move. So just a terrible situation for BlinG. And then from there, I think we can just play it and see how badly this is going to go for him. And good on Nerchio. Setting up like this as well. He made sure that he was going to win the fight, and he did, and won the series as well. That's going to be it for the analysis, and let's go and check in with Red Eye.
Thanks, Todd. Great as ever on the analysis desk there. We're going to do something a little bit different now before our last game. We're a few minutes away from it. Our final match will be Nerchio versus MC for a place in the round of 8, no less. It's a massive match for both men. You may remember that the Team Liquid map contest has spawned a number of top quality maps over the years, and they are absolutely on point. You might remember Yonsu, Frost, Habitation Station, all have come through the Team Liquid map contest, and I'm delighted to say that they're going to run another one. So let me just throw this up for you right now on the screen. This is the Team Liquid map contest number 4. So if you've got some skills and you want to show us exactly what you are good at in terms of map making, make sure you head over there right now to Team Liquid and click on the Map Contest 4 button, and also make the point that your map could then end up on the ladder, which also then means it's in consideration for the map pools for the official WCS regions. It's a cool thing to win. Don't forget as well, we want to hear your tweets. We want to see your comments. So let us know who you think is going to win the final match of the night. Is it MC, the Boss Toss, or is it the Lord of the Lings, Mr. Nerchio? We'll find out after the break.